and people like Jesse Livermore. You read his book, How to Trade in Stocks, which was written in 1940, but it was describing principles he was using in the early 1900s. Sort of timeless principles of what drives stock prices and where the biggest winners come from. So that's really what we're looking for, studying these past precedents, and then just assembling. Again, we're taking a wide sample, culling it down, and so you learn how to spot certain characteristics, but then also you tend to get a decent feel for overall market health. I often tell, most people don't believe me when I go, look, I aggressive long side trader at times, but have not been caught in any of these major bear markets and declines we've had over the last 15, 16 years. It's because the stocks give you a lead on all that stuff. When you learn to do that process well, and that's even something I try and educate people in now, because the little guy has a tremendous advantage over the major fund or institution that has to move tens of millions of shares or hundreds of millions of dollars, where the minute there's certain signs that sort of show up, you can raise cash and get out of the way, if you will. Yeah, the general process though is that screening process first. Then we take any ideas that we think are closely buyable, put them on separate watch lists, and it then becomes just a matter of then gauging the price action in real time. In terms of our read comes from, and any good market call I've ever made and that kind of thing is not because we're looking at magic indicators or anything. We don't even have any of those. I don't think they exist personally, but it just comes from running that process over and over and over and over again.
So you said you don't look at indicators. Do you look at fundamentals at all? And as far as technicals, kind of what do you look at if you are not looking at any indicators?
So what I mean by indicators is, I don't classic sort of technical indicators, stochastics or RSIs and MACDs. I couldn't even tell you what most of those things are. Again, I want to be clear. I'm not trying to be disparaging to people who use them. I just haven't found to be helpful in terms of what we do. If you just gave me price and volume, that's really all I need. And as far as the technicals, now to answer your question about fundamentals, yes, we look at earnings and sales in the most recent quarters and margins, and then we'll look at the industry group, of course. And